Hi guys, welcome back to Nana's Nursery and Reborns. I'm Nana, and if you're new, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. And welcome to your weekly dose of Nana's 2-in-1 videos. I'm here to do Pika Wednesday on a Thursday, and then I'm going to try and fit in Theme Thursday as well, because I was so excited, and I talked to Sweet Bonnie over at Pretty Poppets, who is this week's host of Pika Wednesday. I was so excited about doing this theme, and then my week just got away from me again. I actually mowed, and then by the time I got in and took a shower, I was so exhausted, and then I decided I just needed to rest. You are looking at sweet little Pipsqueak, also known as Pip, and she is the Pika sculpt. She is wearing her pajamas to do this week's theme, which is storybooks. And we're also going to share our favorite storybook and why. Miss Pip is holding a baby's first book. We had a set of 3 of these, and these ones are just words, and there's a picture of a teddy bear, and on the other page there's an apple and then the word apple under it. That's how I started Little Miss Raven reading books and sharing my love of books with her, because I've always loved books. Miss Pip is wearing a side snap pajama with a little moon and a sleeping Minnie Mouse with a mauve bow and a pale turquoise little skirt on, and she's sleeping on the moon, and it says "Dream Big, Little One." And then I put a matching bow on top of her head in the darker mauve, and then the pale turquoise on top of that, because I don't like putting hats on Little Miss Pip, and it's just sitting down here under her. On the pants, they're white and has pale turquoise stars, little gold stars, and little pink mauve stars. And she has our cute little fuzzy teddy bear slippers on. So now on to some of my favorite books. Our friend Gail over at Susie Q's Happy Little Haven shared the other day about her love of walking to the library when she was little, and I did that as well. And this represents my first readers in first grade, and I don't remember what I would have gotten before that, but these are updated versions of the Dick and Jane books, and they're just like a paperback, a thick paperback. And this one's something funny, and they're dressed up in clowns. Dick and Jane We Play, and there's Spot and the Wagon. And this one's Dick and Jane Jump and Run, and there's a choo-choo on the floor, and I think her name is Sally. Oh my gosh, I haven't even read it. I need to. I read these with Raiven when she was little, and I need to read, and it was a good thing I found them. I pulled them out so I can read these with Little Miss Briar now. And Chase struggles with his reading, so he doesn't enjoy it, but maybe I can interest him in doing more of that too in the future. Okay, down here on the floor are the little golden books, and they're the classic ones, and I don't have very many. The most retro one I have is the Nurse Nancy, and this one's Home for Bunny. I'm not sure why I don't have the Pokey Little Puppy, because everybody had the Pokey Little Puppy. And I do remember that I loved the Little Engine That Could, but I don't have that either. Sitting next to those books, we've got our little Mr. Gavin, and he's wearing some vintage footed pajama sleeper, and it has embroidered in like a royal blue "I Love Daddy" in cursive, and it's got those fun square plastic snap poppers that come all the way down it, and then the sleeves are a print that have red choo-choo trains in a line, and then it says "I Love Daddy" in a line, and that's printed in red choo-choos, and then I Love Daddy, and it repeats that print, and it's got that collar, a little Peter Pan collar with dark blue stitching, and then he has a little boy bonnet that has that print on it too. And if you weren't aware, that Gavin is my husband's look-alike baby, photo baby, and this is very 1960s vintage, and he's holding a little telephone, just a handset blue old style telephone rattle in his hand. I know a lot of people grew up on the Dr. Seuss books, and these are the only two bigger size ones that I have, the Green Eggs and Ham, and this one's One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish, and I just bought this one at Walmart. And Miss Raiven, so all my girls had these. We did the Columbia House book club or something like that. So we had tons of books when my girls were little, and I had a wooden bench that had the country hearts cut out at the back of it, and the whole thing lifted up, and it was totally full of books. But I got rid of that when my girls got older. This was Raven's most favorite, the foot book, and she literally had it memorized. I had it memorized because she would want us to read it so often. And I think we had this one and Box and Socks and something else in the board book, Dr. Seuss. But this was her favorite. So we read this one all of the time. And now that Briar's beginning to read on her own, I know she was reading this one the other day, and she had this one out, so I thought I would get this, and I'd get some of my easy readers out for her, so I could encourage her to love reading as much as I do. This book is called Tinka, and it came with a cute little plush lamb, and I went to one of those like home parties where they sold children's toys stuff, but it was like educational toys. But anyway, I bought this, and it's a really, really sweet story, and I know all my girls love to hear it. But it's talking about little Tinka the lamb. She wants to go off and find the field with purple flowers, and so she ends up making friends with this little bird. And here's the purple flowers, and it's supposed to be a ring of flowers that she wore around her neck at the end. So anyway, it's just a really sweet book. And I know that I think Bonnie had mentioned something about the Wonky Donkey. I actually bought that for my grandson for Christmas one year, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So that's one of their favorite books. I don't have my favorite book. I actually told Bonnie, she inspired me to order one, so it won't be here until later this weekend. But it is called Miss Susie, and when it comes in, I will share it with you, I promise, because I absolutely loved that book. On top of the fact that I had like a really thick children's picture story Bible book and like the fairy tales. So I had that too ever since I was little, but I don't have any of those anymore. Okay, these are our last book friends and characters and our last baby. You're looking at a little ragdoll, Madeline, and she's in her little yellow overcoat with her yellow hat and her little black Mary Janes and her little red tie with her little ragdoll red hair. And under her is the book of Madeline with the Eiffel Tower in the background and all the little girls all in a row. And I didn't even know anything about this until the cartoon came out later. But I had a girlfriend that inspired Raiven to get into Madeline. And so then I found a book, and we've got this little girl. And I think I got it, oh gosh, I can't remember where I got it, but we've had it obviously for several years because Raven's now a teenager. But she loved this little Madeline and the Madeline book for a long time. All right, our last baby is sweet little Mr. Daniel, and he's my Dino Dan. So of course I had to put some dinosaur pajamas on him, and he has his blue, sparkly, iridescent Triceratops. Went blank for a minute. He's got his comfy green fuzzy slippers on, and he's got his dinosaur hand mitts with they're heather gray with little green little claws, and he has his dinosaur binky in. He's holding on to a little dinosaur blanket that has gray minky dots on the backside, but the dinosaurs are beautiful royal blue brontosauruses, and there's T-Rexes in green, and then there's kind of an orangey brown Stegosaurus. I don't know. I'm not the greatest with dinosaurs, but I did want to share him, and he's got rust brown on his sleeper, and it's dark navy blue horizontal stripes, and then he's got a dark sage green T-Rex on the side and an applique. So that's what little Mr. Daniel is wearing. And I wanted to share this book. This is a very special book. It's called Where the Dinosaurs Roar. And it's a sweet book from the Smith family. If you're not aware, Granger and Amber Smith, he's a country western singer. And they lost their little boy when he was 3 for a drowning accident. So she partnered to write this book for their little boy who's up here on the swing river, because he loved dinosaurs. And down here is Jesus. And there's a little character down here writing "Welcome Home" on the T-Rex belly. But it's a sweet story. I've read both of Granger's books. Oh gosh, what's it called? Like a River. And Amber Smith's book, Girl on the Bathroom Floor. Anyway, if you've dealt with any type of loss, those are both excellent inspirational stories, and they're beautiful, beautiful books. But I did want to share that because this was a fundraiser book, and so I've had this for several years. So that is all of my Pika Wednesday with my books. And I will be back and set up for the Theme Thursday stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And Theme Thursday is hosted by our dear friend Suzanne at Suzanne's Babies. This week she announced the theme would be sleepy time. So it's babies in their pajamas and cozy and gowns and PJs and getting all cozy, ready for bedtime. And I thought that was perfect to put the Pika Wednesday with this week's Theme Thursday because of the storybooks. So we already read the babies their stories. This is my favorite collection that is actually still on the market today. This is a Little Me, and I think the print is Ivory Rose, but I love this. And Little Me, if you did not know, runs really big. So this is Adelie over here laying down, and she's wearing a 0 to 3 month gown, and she's a 3 to 6 month baby, or a really big 0 to 3 month, and she is still, this is swimming on her. But I bought this set, probably the gown and the blanket that has a little satin ribbon with a little bow on it. And then I have the footed pajama with the ruffle that's side snapped and has a hat. And then here's the little rag dolly with little brown yarn hair. And she has the headband, all with that print on it. And I just always loved it. So that's what little Miss Adelie's wearing. But I didn't put the hat on her because she has cute little pink grosgrain ribbon bows in with the little roses on with the green sides on it, and her tiny little pigtails. And you can see they have the little grosgrain bow, and it's got the scalloped edging around the neck and the shoulders. And future me will explain this to you. It's a long story, but we have a visitor in our nursery. This is Rosie Marie, and she is Briar silicone dolly, and she's wearing the footed side snap version of this with the hat on. So I will explain more of that later. Maggie and Aubrey are sitting down here. They're my Saskias, and they're sitting on my new version of that blanket. And this one's just a muslin blanket, and it's much brighter white than the original print. But I just saw it in a 3-pack with something else in. But I still love it. I love anything with tiny little roses and rosebuds and stuff, so I went ahead and got it. Maggie's wearing a beautiful velvety soft pink footed pajama, and then it's got a soft white on the toe, and then she has this beautiful little crisscross big ruffle collar, and then it has stitched on it tiny very pale pink little polka dots on the ruffle, and she's got a pink bow with a white polka dots. And then Aubrey, hers is also very soft and velvety, and hers is even paler than Maggie's, and hers has right at the bodice, she has a lace overlay that's really comes down the whole part of the bodice. It's a really wide lace, and it's got the scallop trim on it with little flowers and fleur-de-lis and stuff like that. It's just a really pretty set, and I actually popped the tags on both of these because they were brand new. And they've got fun little My First Dolly sitting in between them, and it's in a little sleeper and footed, and it's got the little stuffed cushion little hair and stuff. Oh, Aubrey has a pale pink rose, and then she's got some netting in her little headband. Behind them is little Miss Priscilla, and she's also wearing a beautiful gown that snaps all the way down, and it's got the edging, I can't remember what it's called, but it's stitched in pink, but they're tiny little rosebuds all over it. And this was Briar's, and also her bonnet. So as soon as I found out that Briar was a girl, when my daughter was pregnant with her, I actually went to a boutique. So this is like the first thing I ever went to a boutique and bought something. So this gown is a kissy kissy, and then her bonnet is a Wilbeth, and she's got white little booties on, and she's holding one of Briar's toys from when she was little, and it's a little white swan with little pink beak, pink little feet, and it has a little gold ground on top of her head. Here's the detailing on her bonnet. It's just so pretty with the little smocking and then the embroidered little roses on the bonnet. It's just very pretty. These next babies are absolutely dedicated to my dear sweet friend, our dear sweet friend, Suzanne over at Baby Bunting Nursery, because we thought alike when we were getting ready to put our babies in their pajamas. So I got out stuff that is vintage for pajamas. This is Shayna, and she's wearing a pink terry cloth footed pajama that snaps. Suzanne gifted this to us in Victoria's box opening, and it's still brand new. I have not put it on anybody, and I just thought it was the perfect time. And then I actually saw her video first, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's so funny. Here's a pink snap terry cloth sleeper, and she's got a vintage rattle that's got the pink at the bottom, and it's got the little colorful carousel horses up in it. And sitting next to Shayna is our sweet little Miss Abigail, and she's wearing a vintage gown that also has some hand embroidered little flowers on it. There, now you can see them. They're teensy tiny little blue, and it's got a beautiful tiny delicate little lace collar. And I got this from the doll show. Gosh, it was the Kansas Doll Show. One of the first or second years I went, and it actually got lost in my girlfriend's car for almost a year before we found it. But she's got little white sake booties on that's got the peachy orange flower. And there's the little green, sage green satin for the leaves. And it's got the matching little headband up here that has 3 of those little roses. It's for little Miss Abigail. Down here in the butterfly bouncer, we have sweet little Miss Angelica, and she's wearing a long gown that has a little embroidered pink elephant on the bodice, and then the bottom print has little yellow giraffes, green tops, some yellow and pink blocks, and then there's some cute little pink patchwork elephants. So she has some little crocheted booties with little ribbon and satin roses on it, and then it has the matching bonnet on that's pink, and it has the beautiful pink satin that goes through it. And I also got that from sweet Miss Suzanne. Violet's wearing a footed pajama that has little rosebuds all over it, and it snaps down, and it's got elastic on the 2 sides. And this is actually, I guess it's not necessarily vintage, it might be retro, but a Little Me, so it's an older style Little Me. Pretty sure I got it at a thrift stores back in the day. And she's just got kind of an off-white little overlay bonnet on that has some little leaf stitching details on it. Up here in the bassinet or my baby bunting nursery babies. So this is sweet Miss Victoria Rain, and she is twinning with, oh my gosh, who wore it? Lottie? I think Lottie wore the white version of this. It's more of a heather pink, and it says Wondersuit in a darker pink, almost a neon pink, and it snaps down and it has this collar. And then she's got a hand knitted little ecru bonnet on that I bought from a friend at the Kansas Doll Show. She's holding her sweet little signature donkey that Suzanne put in her box opening. And then I've got a vintage glass bottle, and then I've got some toys hanging here, and this one just has little bells on its feet, and this one has a suction cup, and they both actually look like fishing bobbers. That's how they're made, and the old plastic. And this one has a cute little smiling face, and this one has a little hat. And then over here we have sweet little Miss Bonnie, and she's wearing a gown that is a vintage mother care, and it also matches Bridie, I think. Oh my gosh, I've done too much today and I've almost forgotten. I'm pretty sure Bridie's wearing a gown like this that's vintage, and it's got embroidered. I think it's a little bear. At first I thought it was a deer, but the head is too round. I'm pretty sure it's a bear. And then it's got 2 little butterflies in pink and yellow on the 2 sides, and then it's got some little blue flowers with little greenery and sprigs of grass around it. And then she's got an off-white lace little bonnet on that's actually too big for her. And this is how much I love you, Suzanne. I just fixed their hair, but I put bonnets on them. I just redid their curls, but that's okay. I love them in their bonnets, but I also love them in their curls. And Bonnie is wearing very special booties. These were my girls, brand new, and they're an off-white with 2 little puff balls on the ankle. And I think Raven wore them once or twice. And she's kind of hiking up her little gown so you can see her booties with her hand. And she's holding one of our newest little teddy bears in the nursery. This is a Gund, and it's a dark brown, and it's a mohair, and it's like a collector's edition, but it's like 6 or 7 inches. So I bought this for the nursery, and that's what sweet little Miss Bonnie's holding. So thank you, Suzanne, for inspiring this and giving us all these beautiful gifts that we're able to dress several babies. In the Moses basket, we've got little Mr. Raymond and little Mr. Tate, and they're both in their pajamas. Tate is wearing a long blue boy's gown, and it has a little embroidered choo-choo train through a white strip in the center, and he's got a boy white bonnet on. It's got the Peter Pan collar all edged in white. He's holding our gray jelly cat, and he's got a little button and white trim on the wrists of his cuffs, and it's just got the little elastic at the bottom. We have a sleepy time little teddy bear here, and little Mr. Raiven is wearing a pastel yellow, dark teal, light teal, gray, orange, and yellow striped horizontally, and it all repeats all the way down the pajamas. And then he's got beautiful teal hand mitts on, and then he's got the matching teal binky with an orange handle, and it's got cute little green elephant on it. His hat matches the stripes, and then he's got the teal, blue, and white socks on him. He's also holding the rattle that has the gray top and then the orange handle, and we got that from our dear sweet friend Delise at Dilly's Dollies. And last but not least, baby to describe, is sweet little Mr. Oliver, and he's wearing pale blue and white striped pajama pants, and he's got a side snap sleeper top that has trimmed in pale blue, and then he's got embroidered little giraffe, and on the back of the giraffe are two little turtles in tan shell and a blue shell, and he's got little silvery looking spots all over the giraffe, and he has the matching blue and white hat, and he's cozied up to a Snoopy toy that's also holding a lovey blanket. So that's all the babies. I've got some fun music box here because babies love music to go to sleep. I've got one last little vintage hanging toy, and this one's the blue and white that has the head, the body, and then the little dangling little feet, and the one is about to have it, the little strings about stretched out. Little Miss Pip is holding onto a sleepy yellow praying rabbit, and they're all getting ready to cozy up and go to bed. I will try to come back tomorrow to do Best Friends Club. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys. Have a blessed week. Mwah. Bye.